Hi Capricorn, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your June 2020 tarot check. And this is for all Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I want to thank you all for watching the readings and commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing the videos. I really appreciate that. And I just love your comments. They're so sweet and supportive. And I get a few that are odd, like I've got sometimes I think it's a bot, but I always report it, and it seems like it's some kind of human trafficking thing. And I mentioned this before, I'm a fully licensed clinician, and part of my license is human trafficking. It's a required professional development number of hours that I maintain, so certainly I'd report that. Plus it's a horrific industry. I mean, I don't even know if I want to justify it by calling it that, but it is. So anyway, those get reported. And then I had, just the other day, I had somebody, their YouTube name was like Ethan's dad or something like that. And it was this really odd, gross poem that they posted. And it seemed like a kid trying to be funny. I don't know, but we took that down too. So yeah, just know if you're trying to get human trafficking on this channel, it'll be reported. So, and any YouTube reader would certainly do that, but I think in general most YouTubers would do that. YouTube does scan and they try to get rid of bots and stuff periodically, but it's not a perfect science. So anyway, let's see what's going on here for Capricorn. And I don't think I mentioned this. If you're new and you want to subscribe, I'd love to have you. If you tap the bell, you'll get notified when new videos are posted, but it's generally every week that I post, okay? I do weeklies, a monthly, a mid-month check, and then I've added in a love lineup here. On Fridays, you get a love tarot check, and that is the first Friday. I'm sorry, not every Friday. It's the first Friday of the month. Let's see what's going on here for Capricorn. June 2020 for Capricorn. All right, your current position, you've got the Nine of Cups, and the immediate influence is the Chariot. In your destiny here, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Behind you, you have Temperance. In the more recent past, you got the Seven of Cups. Coming towards you, you do have a bit of competition here. You got the Five of Wands. You're represented by the Eight of Pentacles. The people around you are the Three of Cups. You have the Seven of Wands as your hopes and fears, and the Two of Cups as the outcome. Interestingly, though, I'll take these two. You actually have this too on the bottom. You got the Six of Cups here too. Because the only reason why I don't normally keep peeling cards off, but because you have the Three of Cups, that seems important to me. You have the Five of Swords here and the Moon too as clarifiers, but I'm going to take this off because it kind of goes together. I just feel that. Again, like you know, if you've been watching, I don't use a lot of cards, but I have to. There's something that draws me to that. So you have, again, strong indicators for money, but you've got love coming into this reading, because I think the last couple have been much more geared towards money, but your money has been stable. So you have, as we go through this, you've definitely got water here. You've got Sagittarius, you've got Cancer, you've got Pisces. You do have fire here too. So you've got, could be a Sagittarius or a Pisces or a Cancer if you're dealing with some kind of a love interest. But you know, overall you've been moving forward on some things, and again with the financial piece going so well, I think that you've been getting some new things, like in terms of some of you might be getting furniture, things, upgrades to your house, more in the material plane here. The Nine of Cups is, it's a feeling of being proud of some things, feeling secure, feeling proud. But I feel like too, you're giving to others. You're not just hoarding everything for yourself. You're, you may have hosted a small gathering or something like that, or even dropped off. I'm seeing somebody dropping off like a basket of stuff to somebody, like food and wine and stuff, just to be nice. It's things like that. With the Chariot here, this is a card of much success. Again, this can be it's about moving forward, but it also can be about taking a trip or some kind of a, it can be more, in depth than travel. It can be about taking I don't know what the journey, like of self-discovery is the way I'm trying to say that. But, you're definitely in a victorious state with these two together. So it really, though, with the Chariot, it's interesting because if you're dealing with some kind of an issue in the outcome, this always means victory, but it's a victory by the personality controlling the issues around the soul, if that makes sense. It's more from the personality or the ego level, and it's kind of about like, it can be about taking a leap of faith or taking some kind of a chance that works out well. So that's kind of what I'm getting with that is it's like you've done something, taken on some kind of new project that's ended up being successful from a monetary standpoint, or the money that came in is causing it's just causing a really nice, not only feeling of security, but of wealth, I guess is the best way to say that. There's a feeling of wealth with this. Your destiny here is the Ace of Pentacles. I like to see that, right? You've had, you've been destined to have the Midas touch, I guess. You're destined to have money around you and abundance around you. We don't get put on this earth to be poor. And I had an interesting conversation the other day with somebody, and they were talking about how this person's parents were poor and they grew up poor and they're still poor. And they're, they're kind of struggling, working class, middle class-ish, but always kind of running behind a little bit. And of course, my thinking with that is because they're so focused on poor. That's why. It's like, start focusing on abundance and things will change. Because I didn't grow up with a lot of money, but I'm very comfortable. I have a career, and I went to school, and I put myself through college and got the education that I needed. And I focus on wealth. I focus on the experiences I've had. I don't focus on things that happened 40 years ago, because I'd be bringing them forward with me. So your destiny here is to focus on wealth. It's to focus on attracting abundance, and you're doing it. This is also, too, though, this can be new love, and I definitely feel like you have a new beginning with somebody. So in the past, you had some kind of a crisis that required healing, and the Temperance card is all about healing. It's about it brings a very nice emotional flow. It's also, too, an indicator that your path wasn't completely straight. I think some things happened that you weren't expecting that caught you off guard, and they were painful, and you took the bounce. You took the bounce, you pivoted, you worked on recovering and understanding the lesson. And once you accept that lesson, you don't have to repeat it. But when we don't accept the lesson, it comes back in an even more painful way. And so I do feel for you. That was a huge part of it, is learning something. Some of you might have gotten into recovery or been with somebody who got into recovery, because Temperance, too, can be the card of the alcoholic. And I don't always read it this way, but I am getting a feeling of somebody getting sober. And it was life-changing. Like I said, that path was not straight, but that path took them to a beautiful place. It's made a huge difference. It could have been a parent of yours too, where one of your parents got sober and it changed the dynamic of the family for the better. That also could be. In the more recent past, you've got the Seven of Cups. So I do feel like some of you may have had, like I said, something unexpected that happened. There's a sense of disillusionment here, where there was seeing things one way and they weren't how they appeared. And you also have the Moon as a clarifier. So you may have had with this, you may have had something that came out, some truth that was revealed here. And you are not here to, participate in every fight you're invited to. I think that there's somebody here that wasn't being honest. And even though it's been revealed, you don't really want to continue to look at it anymore. You know what I mean? It's like looking at a car accident. You might look for a minute, but to just stand there and stare, I just don't think you have an interest in it. So you do have the Five of Swords, and then you also have this Five of Wands. But the Five of Wands is interesting because it's different from the Five of Swords. This can be about drama, but it tends to be more of an immature kind of energy, and it can also be about competition. So some of you may have something coming in where it feels like it's more about competition around work for somebody here, where there's some kind of a competitive thing around an account, or so the way things are being aligned at work, and wanting to, I think with a lot of the changes that have happened with worldwide economies, people are scared, and this person's coming from 1,000 forms of fear is what I'm getting. They're coming out of this and they're scared, and so they're very haphazard about it, though. It's not like they're calculated or can do any real damage, but they're just kind of greedy, haphazard, and competitive. So just be aware of that, but you're very stable. You've got the Eight of Pentacles representing you, and you have done a very good job of aligning money, getting security for yourself. Like I said, some of you may be getting some different things arranged at your house, or even getting like even I'm seeing like in the garden, somebody doing like a lot of yard work and mulch and just making their garden look really nice. Or it's possible too with that, somebody works outdoors, they're working in landscaping, and it's just like the business is just crazily busy. So it's that part of your life is going right on schedule. Everything's right on schedule, but you have this reunion. So these two had to be together because I just couldn't keep them apart. There's definitely a reunion coming here. And I do feel like it's somebody from the past. It may be somebody that you haven't dated before, but you just know them from the past, but they're definitely interested. And they're fun. It's a soulmate connection. They're fun. They're light. They may be a water sign. Certainly could be Cancer or Pisces. I think I mentioned that earlier in the reading. But they're coming through, and it feels like ease. It feels easy. It feels natural. And I think there's a part of you when you connect where you say, it feels like we haven't missed a beat. It feels like we've been talking all these years. But there's an excitement about it too. There's a comfortable part of it, but there's something about it that brings sort of this vision of a future, this vision of, life just unfolding in a very beautiful way. So it's a very happy, celebratory energy. I mean, I just don't see anything about this that makes me feel concerned. I don't feel anything coming that way. Now, you've got the Seven of Wands, and it definitely is connected to the Five of Wands here. But what's interesting about this, it's like nothing's going to stop you. Even some petty crap is irrelevant, really. With the Seven of Wands, you see how he's lifted above all the wands. It's because he's victorious. He's elevated. So there might be some little energy sniping at your ankles, and it could be some bickering over money. Like I said, I feel like that's coming through. There's some kind of bickering or contesting about money. But you have great ideas coming through. You're very grounded. You've got both feet on the ground, and you're not going to be pushed. You're just not going to. And I also think, too, there's something about your delivery that's very succinct in this situation. It makes logical sense. It's very tough to argue with. So I just don't feel like anything is going to happen in terms of, it's more of a nuisance than anything else. So your outcome here, you've got the Two of Cups. And so, with this, you've got real love coming through. I definitely, like I said, I feel like it's somebody from the past, but it may be an unexpected meeting where you're outside somewhere and it feels like a park or a picnic or something like that. And there they are. They kind of just show up. I keep getting outside. I mean, I've gotten that multiple times during this reading where they're, the thing with the landscaper and mulch and working, and now this is coming through as outside also. So I think that's going to be significant. So if you're thinking, well, I'm not sure, I'd start going out and visiting outdoor places, cafes and stuff, because you never know. There's somebody that wants to come through, and it just feels like you're going to meet them outside somehow. But it's very, there's, like I said, a high level of compatibility here, but there's real love here. And it's going to be long-lasting. It's definitely something that's going to run a distance. It's a real love here. So open yourself up. Open yourself up to it if that's what you want to bring in. And for those of you that, if you're in something, if you've had some snags along the way, again, there's something worth working through here for sure. Now, I want to introduce these Carolyn Mace cards, or archetype cards. And Carolyn Mace is, she's really a PhD theologian, but she's a mystic. She was a medical intuitive for many years, and then realized she really wanted to teach. And she also talks about being a Reformed Catholic. She's very interesting, but she has many books about archetypes. Archetypes are what make up the tarot, and they're also something that Carl Jung, an Austrian psychologist, really explored and developed, and they are greatly influence American psychology as well as other, European psychology in general. So I pulled this archetype card for you, and you got the damsel. The light attributes of the damsel are understanding the nature of healthy romance and inspires you to rely on yourself. So, with this, I feel like it really matches the reading pretty well, because you have independence through your finances, through work, and you're ready to be matched with somebody. The shadow attributes are waiting for a knight to provide for you, and it's seduction by romantic illusions. So I don't feel like for you, I just don't feel like you have a huge issue with that. The only concern I would have is, maybe the other person, making sure that they're on a level ground with you. But it feels like they are. It, again, feels like they are. So we're going to close things off with Asking It Is Given from Abraham Hicks. My emotional set points can be changed. Your set points are achieved by attention to a subject. We want you to understand the extreme value in deliberately achieving your own set points, because once you expect something, it will come. The details of it may play out differently, but the vibrational essence will always be an exact match. So you don't have to know how something's going to happen. You just have to be in line with why you want it. What do you want about this thing? So if you're somebody that you want somebody from the past to come back, thinking about why you want them, not about any challenges or barriers, because if you think of challenges and barriers, that's what you'll get. Think about the positive aspects of it, and that's what'll show up. So I love you so much, Capricorn, and I'll be back again soon.